While official Steam machines are heavily delayed, one thing is for sure, they definitely won't be cheap. But what if we could build our own compact living room ready alternative for $166? In this video, we are putting together a custom mini ITX build running an operating system that mirrors Steam OS perfectly, completely free from the clunky UI and endless annoyances of Windows. I wanted to see what it's like to hunt down the best budget components, assemble the hardware, and fully configure the system from scratch. Can a cost-optimized build like this actually deliver a smooth and fluid gaming experience? Let's find out. The truth is, home consoles are getting ridiculously expensive, Steam machines are still delayed, and their expected price tags won't be cheap. While building a brand new mini ITX PC nowadays can easily burn a hole straight through your wallet. But what if you just want something compact, whisper quiet, and plug and play without spending a fortune? That is where the second-hand market comes to the rescue. Today, we are diving into a challenge to build an ultra-budget Steam machine by fully utilizing used parts hunted down on eBay. The goal is a sleek, compact, console-style PC that costs less than a few new AAA games, yet boots straight into Bazzite OS for a smooth experience just like the Steam Deck. Let's check out these used components with surprisingly cheap prices that I managed to grab. To build a truly compact Steam machine, everything has to start with the chassis. I scored this Metalfish T40 on eBay for just $22. It's tiny, minimalist, and features full mesh panels on all four sides. Perfect for saving space whether it sits on your desk or you take it on the go to plug into a TV. Alright, up next is the brain of the config, the Intel Core i5-2500. I bought this veteran chip for literally $9. $9. That's cheaper than a chicken burrito at Chipotle right now. Back in 2011, this thing was a gaming king. Today, it's a 4-core budget savior with a 3.7 GHz turbo clock, ready for one last ride in our mini machine. Now, finding a cheap ITX motherboard is usually a nightmare, but luck was on my side. I dug up this B75 ITX board for just $27. It's small and basic, but it delivers stable performance to handle our i5-2500. For under $30, I have zero complaints. Moving on to memory, we are filling up the only 2 slots on this board with 16 GB of DDR3 RAM, which cost me $24. Yes, the RAM cost nearly triple the CPU. Welcome to the bizarre world of used tech. But 16 GB is the sweet spot for Bazzite OS, and running dual channel is mandatory so our old i5 grandpa doesn't bottleneck during gameplay. To cool our $9 king inside this cramped ITX case, we're using a standard Intel stock cooler. These things are practically immortal and they are everywhere. You can probably walk into a local repair shop and get one for free or buy it online for the price of a coffee. For me, it was free and it's low profile enough to clear the side panel perfectly. Now for the heavy lifter, the AMD Radeon RX 554GB variant snatched for just $36. Remember why we need AMD? Bazzite OS is built on Linux, which has flawless native driver support for AMD hardware. Total plug and play. It's compact, power efficient, and best of all, it requires zero PCIe power cables. It draws all its juice straight from the slot. Keep that in mind because it's going to save our lives in a second. Since this case uses a sandwich layout, the motherboard sits on one side and the GPU goes on the other. And we need this $15 PCIe riser cable to connect them. For storage, I went with a basic 240GB SATA SSD for $23. It's obviously not a blazing fast NVMe drive, but it's light years faster than an old mechanical hard drive. It will keep our boot times fast and has just enough room for Bazzite and a few favorite games. Your storage capacity will depend on your needs, and of course more gigabytes mean a higher price tag. Finally, let's talk about the power supply. I salvaged this SFX unit from a dead PC. Look at the sticker. It proudly screams 550 watts. But if you do the math on the 12-volt rail, this thing realistically pushes only about 280 watts of actual power. What a beautiful marketing lie. Worse yet, it doesn't even have a single PCIe power cable for a graphics card. But luckily our RX 550 doesn't need one. so this junk PSU is actually a match made in heaven. If you don't have one lying around, you can easily find these basic no-name SFX power supplies online for around $10. Grand total, just around $166 for a fully functional, ultra-compact gaming console. That is literally cheaper than a few new AAA game releases at launch. Now that everything is ready, let's install Bazite and get some gaming done. The installation process was actually pretty straightforward. I just flashed the installer onto a USB, booted from it, and went through a few basic options. Since it takes some time to fully configure everything, I decided to go ahead and brew a cup of coffee. By the time I was back, the installation was complete. I hit reboot, pulled out the USB, and the system booted straight into the Steam interface. Alright, let's see what we're working with here. Wow, the interface is extremely smooth. It honestly feels exactly like a real Steam Deck running on a big screen. I can use a mouse and keyboard here. But to get that true console experience, I wanted to use an Xbox-style controller. However, my budget motherboard doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, so I picked up a cheap Bluetooth USB dongle for about $10. Bazite is pretty smart. The moment I plugged it in, the system automatically recognized the Bluetooth and the controller connected instantly without any hassle. Every single feature of SteamOS is available here, the UI is butter smooth, and everything runs very stable. Now let's head into the settings to check our hardware configuration. We've got an i5-2500 CPU with a base clock of 3.3 and a turbo boost of 3.7 GHz, giving us 4 cores and 4 threads. This is paired with 16 GB of RAM. And of course, for the graphics card, we have an RX 550 with 4 GB of VRAM. Alright, everything is fully configured and ready. Let's see how this ultra budget homemade Steam machine actually performs in game. Let's jump right into the benchmarks. All games tested in this video were played at 1080p resolution. First, let's warm up with Silksong. The game runs smoothly, delivering over 200 FPS. Controller inputs are precise. Naturally, our hardware has more than enough power for a lightweight title like this. Next is Tomb Raider. At high settings, the game runs well, hovering between 50 and 70 FPS. During heavy combat, the frame rate drops slightly, but overall, it's a good experience for a AAA title. Temperatures are also safe, staying below 70 degrees Celsius. Now, let's switch to a fast-paced shooter, CS2. At low settings, the FPS fluctuates between 50 and 80, stabilizing above 60. Gameplay is smooth enough to handle sudden encounters. RAM usage is just over 7 GB. Moving up to medium settings, the frame rate drops to around 50 to under 70 frames per second, but we get better visuals in return. RAM usage climbs past 8 GB, and the game remains playable. Finally, we have The Witcher 3, a demanding AAA title, though not as heavy as modern games. At low settings, we get 30 to 40 FPS, with RAM consumption hitting nearly 9 GB. The experience isn't perfectly smooth, but it is stable. Honestly, at this frame rate, you can still fully enjoy the story. It's very similar to how consoles lock certain heavy titles at 30 frames per second. Alright, so this budget, homemade Steam machine isn't a powerhouse, but it still runs Steam games at decent settings. I can absolutely enjoy gaming as long as the settings are properly adjusted. Think the video ends here? Not quite. With this budget, DIY Steam machine, there's one more cool feature I want to show you. Integrating console emulators directly into the Steam OS UI library. At its core, Bazite is a Linux distro based on Fedora. That means it comes packed with all the features of a full desktop OS. The setup is pretty straightforward. We just switch over to the Bazite desktop, set up EmuDeck, and drop in our game ROMs and BIOS files. Then we just parse them into our Steam library. For this build, I've got Tekken 3 and Street Fighter Alpha 3 ready to go. And boom, check it out, right inside my Steam library, we now have both PS1 titles sitting there with full artwork. Just click and play. It's an awesome experience having these childhood classics seamlessly blended into the SteamOS interface. From here on out, all we need to do is power on the system, grab a controller, and jump right into any game, whether it's a modern Steam title or a retro console classic. For a compact PC thrown together entirely from cheap used parts, this setup has honestly blown past all my expectations. What do you guys think? Would you build something like this? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.